Welcome to my channel, everyone. In this video we are going to talk about SUI, Avalanche, HBAR and Dogecoin. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to start trading with cheap taker fees, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc. 100 tokens, 0 fees. There are most likely more than 100 tokens, tradable without any kind of fees. And here you can see SUI, Avalanche, ONDO and 100 more coins. And usually half of the coins, which you can see on the right side, are always tradable without any kind of fees. And the coins which have fees, yeah, they're always switching. But if you trade a coin which has fees, then the fees are very low. And if you use my referral link, which you can find in the video description, then you are also going to save 20% on those low taker fees. Also in the Bitcoin update, I have talked about my P&L. So basically, I have showed there in more detail, still briefly, but in more detail, how I keep my losses. Yeah, I also have losses, how I keep them small, and how I maximize my profits. So we can also go into September. Is it going to load? Yes. So also here, yesterday loss, 3 days ago 1.6k profit. So overall $4,300 P&L in the past 30 days. My account is $830 currently. I always keep my account at $1k. If I have plus minus 500, then I'm not going to cash out or put more money into that account. Then I'm going to use, if I have, for example, 1.5k on my account, those $500 more on my account I'm using to compensate future losses, like for example, those ones right here. And I cash out once I have 2, 3, 4k on that account. I'm cashing out and then I'm going to buy stocks. Why am I doing it? I talked about that in the Bitcoin update, but I can also say it quick here. Trading cryptos with high leverage and very short-termed is very risky. It can be profitable, like you see. I always keep $1,000 on my account. $4,300 is my profit. It says 125%, but in the end of the day, it's 430% profits. So basically, the reward is there, but also the risk. So I can also lose everything, and that's why I don't want to reinvest my money into cryptos. Like if I'm ready to lose $100 to $200 per day for my $1k account. If I have 2k on that account, then I'm not going to double up just because my portfolio doubled up. I'm not going to double up the risk of losing. So basically, if I'm ready to lose $100 to $200 per day, then I don't want to make it to $200 to $400. So I always keep in mind, hey, I have 2k on my account, but I'm still trading like I have 1k on my account. And on the long run, I'm profitable like that. If I keep reinvesting for sure, then this wouldn't be 4.3k, it would be probably 20k. But the losses here can also be minus 1k. And in August, if I keep reinvesting always, this can also be minus $500. This can also be minus $300. This can be minus 1k. This would be then plus 5k, for example. I don't want to trade like this. It is not good. And in the end of the day, I took my profits from September, the second September, and I put it into UPS if it's interesting you. So let's just start. Let's just start with SUI. So basically, on the 4-hour chart, falling wedge, bullish chart pattern. Breakout point is going to be the price mark of $3.46. I would still wait for the $3.53 for a confirmation that we are going to break up. Then I'm going to double up my position size very fast, $3.60. If we also break it to the upside, then I would increase my position size. Target is going to be $4.04 for that chart pattern, but I would even say $3.88 are more realistic for SUI if we break to the upside. It is now a make it or break it. $3.30 is support box, which I don't want to see losing again. Because if we lose it again, then I think that it's not just going to be a dip like this, which get bought up very fast. Then the market shows weakness And I think we can touch the lower part of that falling wedge again, $3. So I will also put you here the price mark. And yes, we can also invalidate this chart pattern. So just because we have a bullish chart pattern on the chart, it doesn't mean automatically that we are bullish. We are just bullish if we break it to the upside, and also there, it can just be a breakout and still selling off. And this happens quite often. You can also see it with my trades. Most likely, I'm not profitable. Like, let's say I'm profitable, but many loser trades, many loser days. So out of 30 days, I got, I don't count this one here, but 1, 2, 3 big profitable trades, days. And here, then I don't count this here as loss as well, but here 1, 2, 3, 4 loser days. August, 1 profitable trade. And here in September, 1 profitable day and 1 loser day. But I always keep my losses small, my profits high. That's why once we break here to the upside, it's long to me, it's worth a try, where I'm ready to lose maybe $50, maybe even a bit more, depending on the market structure of the overall market. If we sell off again, then I'm out of the trade. But if it's going to work, then it's going to get a huge profitable trade in my opinion. So if we now look into Avalanche, then Avalanche also looks long to me. At least into $25.10. If we break it to the upside, $26.93 is realistic. I would even say, if we now lose the $24.14 sustainable to the downside, and here, this is not sustainable. I want to see a breakout, a retest. If I'm going to see this, then I can actually imagine of selling off more. For Avalanche, we have to say there are no current chart patterns on the smaller time frame. So on the bigger time frame, like 4 hours, this can also be a huge double top pattern. I don't have it on, I still have it on the chart, but it is far away. So we have to break for this kind of scenario the $20.50 to the downside. So this is still 10 to 15%, even 16%. We have to sell off 16%, and then it's not even decided if we are going to activate this pattern. But if we do, $14 is going to be the target of that chart pattern. After that, altcoin season. So if we decide to sell off now, then I think $14 might be possible. It is huge, I know, but we have seen that kind of corrections quite often. I can still imagine that $27 are going to get hit. If $26.93 breaks to the upside, then up to $30 is going to be my target. Then we have to be careful for a bigger pullback. Then I actually doubt that we are going to sell off into $14, but still a bigger pullback is possible before we get the nice altcoin season for Avalanche and for the other altcoins as well. So if we now look over HBAR, then you can see in bright blue this falling wedge already developed. On the 1 hour chart, this bear flag developed, and this bear flag is valid. It has many touch points on the upper part, it has many touch points on the lower part. So I also count those here as touch points, even though we didn't touch it perfectly, but they still count as touch points. So 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points on the upside, 4 touch points on the downside, and here also, if we just make it longer, here it was support several times. So it is essential, if we want to be bullish, to break this bear flag to the upside, because this bear flag can also be a double bottom pattern. A double top pattern is also possible. That's why this here is a rectangle, a box. It doesn't matter in which direction we are going to break it. We can trade it in both directions. So once 22.4 cents breaks to the upside, it's long to me into 23.7 cents. Here's the price mark. This is also the upper part of that falling wedge. If we also break it to the upside, then I can increase my position size into the purple box, which is an resistance box. And I will give you here the price marks as well. It is 25.8 cents to 25.4 cents. I doubt that we are going to get into the maximum target of 29 cents. That's why I want to keep it on the chart like this first, before we talk about more bullish scenarios. For that, I want to see more bullish chart patterns happening. If we break, on the other hand, the 21 cents to the downside, then we would actually invalidate the bright blue falling wedge, the big one which you can see right here. We would sell off 19.7 cents. This is the target of the rectangle. And if we are more bearish because of the bear flag, it would be 17.4 cents. And you can see different targets directing there. So, on this side, double top pattern, which needed more time to break to the downside. And the breakout was here. Breakout, retest, follow through. With this bear flag, we can sell off into 17.48 cents. We have a quite similar target of that rising wedge, which also didn't get invalidated because we didn't get a push into that area. If we would get into that area, or if we would have got into that area, then we would be invalidating this rising wedge. It just takes longer until we get into that target. So the whole area between 16.4 cents to 17.9 cents is going to get very interesting in my opinion. If we are going to get there, then I actually think the altcoin season is going to start from down there, and that's what I want to long. So in that area I want to get into long positions. Yeah, just as a friendly reminder, if a coin is trading at the moment at $10 and we are expecting it to get to $20, then we would make 100%. So we would double up our money. But if we are going to sell off more, for example, $5, and we still expect the $20 to get hit, then we don't make 100%, like we don't double up our money, we make 400%. So keep that in mind. Lower prices before the altcoin season is going to happen, and I think it's going to happen. Yeah, we have already seen Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Solana is also top performer at the moment. And it always goes, like it always starts with the money goes from Bitcoin into Ethereum. And afterwards from Ethereum into the other large caps. Solana is a large cap. I think rank 4 or 5 if we take the stable coins out of the market. So basically XRP, Solana. And we also see BNB, for example. Yeah, I don't have it in my daily analysis, or I don't analyze it at all. Or the hype coin. They are already eating up the market cap. So they are in their bull run. It's just a matter of time until other coins like SUI, Avalanche, HBAR, Dogecoin are also having this kind of price movement. Very bullish. So let's see where we are going to trade. Like I said, we can trade in both directions, and if I'm just trying to look for long positions and I don't want to short, for example, then I would look for long positions down below here between those two price marks. So if we now look over Dogecoin. For Dogecoin, I can still think that we are going to see the 22.6 cents, but it is tradable for me afterwards, because it looks like to me here a double bottom pattern. So once we break the 22.6 cents to the upside, the target is going to be 24.7 cents for the double bottom pattern. Also, we have here a falling wedge. If it breaks to the upside, price mark is currently 23 cents, then the target is going to be 27 cents. But in my opinion, I would actually look for, since all the coins are bearish, it can mean that HBAR is not breaking to the downside, it's just going to get a small push. Also Dogecoin is going to get the push then. we have to see closely into that purple box. I will give you here the price marks of 23.9 cents to 24.2 cents. There I would look that we are not going to get rejected like we have seen here, for example, like we have seen here, for example, and like we have seen here, for example. If we also count this here as well, like we have seen here, and okay, here we broke to the upside, but in the end of the day, we also lost this support again, and we got this sell-off. So basically, I would be very careful. Still, long trades are possible. On the downside, I don't see any kind of short entries, in my opinion. Still, I can imagine 18.8 cents are going to be a huge support. If we are going to lose it, then I think we are going to fish the stop losses lower than that, down to 18 cents for Dogecoin. So it's going to get very interesting. Just for the scenario to the downside, it's not what I would like to trade. But here's, for example, a support trend line. If it breaks to the downside, then we have to see if we formed some chart patterns which are bearish. So far, I don't see any kind of bearish chart patterns. But here, breaking the 20.5 cents to the downside would be negative. It would most likely invalidate the falling wedge. And then we have to look for other bullish chart patterns for the coins. So with that said, all in all, it looks like that we are going to see some upside momentum. It might be even possible that we break some chart patterns to the upside, especially the smaller ones. And in my opinion, we should get into the targets of the smaller chart patterns. But if we see chart patterns like, for example, this big falling wedge, then I actually doubt that we are breaking it to the upside, to be honest. Like if we, for Bitcoin, we think we get into the 117,000 US dollar and from there sell off by around about 12%. For Dogecoin, it would mean, and for the other coins as well, that we are going to get up here, maybe even a bit more bullish, and then sell off before we get the altcoin season. So with that said, we see each other in the Render, Tau, Kaspa and ONDO update.